In today's video, I'll be creating my very own Minecraft mod. This will include a ton of custom additions, including items, blocks, and even dinosaurs. Join me now as we dive deep into the realm of Minecraft modding. Now, this is very unique content, so if you enjoy, how about a like and subscription? I'll tell you what, if we hit 100 likes, I'll add the top comments item to this mod. Alright, so as you may have seen in the intro, this is going to be a dinosaur mod. Now, we haven't had one of these since about 1.12, which was the Fossils and Archaeology mod, so I thought let's make a newer version. Alright, so I have thought of a name for this mod. I am going to be calling it Paleontology Beyond. Okay, so this is our main file here, and I'm going to be using this a lot from now on. So I'm going to skip through all of the boring parts, so I'm going to turn this straight into our program, and we're going to actually be able to start editing and running Minecraft. Okay, so here we are in our IDE, our integrated development software. So now what we're going to be able to do is add tons of files in these little areas over here. I've got my ID for my mod, which is going to be Paleontology Beyond, as you can see there. If we click this green triangle up here, it will run Minecraft, and as we can see in a second, the mod will be registering. Okay, so as you can see, Minecraft is just loaded. So if we click the mods button here, our mod should show up. There it is, Paleontology Beyond. We can see up here it says it's by Tolsky and that the ID is PB. So that is perfect. So what we can actually do is go into a single player world and just see if it runs. So now we're loaded into our world, everything is working perfectly, but there is one thing I want to add before we do any form of coding, and that's integrating JEI. If you don't know JEI, you've been living under a rock. Basically, it's the thing on the right side of your screen that shows all the crafting menus and all the recipes of all the items. So, in a quick transition, 3, 2, 1, BAM! As we can see, JEI is now here. So now what we can do is exit out of Minecraft now and start working on our first item, Amber. Alright, so textures in Minecraft, like diamond or iron, don't exactly generate themselves, do they? So what I have here is a program called Sprite, or A-Sprite, and in here what you can do is just draw pixels, and you can draw more pixels. So what I can do with this is actually make the textures for Amber. So what I'm thinking with Amber, I'm thinking it's sort of a shape, something along this line, and for this Amber I think we need to add something along the lines of like a little bug with like 2 wings there, and a head, or something like that, and make it just genuinely orange. So right now we have a shape, it doesn't really look very good, as you can see. So I'm going to start detailing and texturing, and I'll come back with the finished result. Alright, so I am happy with this. I've kept that sort of shape just like this, and as you can see, just faintly, I've got the insect in there, the mosquito, that has sucked on the blood of the dinosaur. You can see in the bottom right, this is what it's going to sort of look like in our inventory. So I think it's time to add this item to our game. If we come into here, all we need to do is add a few packages in, for instance, assets here. We can add some item textures and models, and we can get this in the game very soon. So without further ado, let's add this to the game. Oh, and would you look at that? If we open up our inventory, we can see there's our creative mode tab there, and there's our first item, Amber. It's as easy as that. The first item, the start of history, is now in our mod. And now, the world is our oyster. We can do whatever we want, we can add all the items and all the blocks we want. But just Amber on its own, it's not enough. So now I'm going to start thinking of some questions. Now these questions are going to be to do with all of the items and blocks that we make. So this is going to be a running theme. So I'm going to ask you these main questions now. There's 3 of them. So the first question is obvious. It's how do we get this item? Do we get it from breaking a block? Do we get it from a loot chest? Do we get it from killing a mob? Or do we get it from breaking crops? There are many different ways that you can get items in this game, so we need to think of the main ways of how to get it. The second question is how rare is it going to be? On one hand you have rotten flesh, which is very common because you just kill a zombie, and on the other hand you have diamonds, which are really rare to get because they're infrequent in caves. And third and final is slightly less required, but it's still good to have in your brain. It's just to think of what you're going to use this for. Are you going to use it for recipes? Are you going to use it to create something? Or is it going to have a main purpose? Or is it just going to be a filler item? These 3 items are all really important, so if you're making your own mod, always think of these 3 questions. So I'm going to answer these myself now with Amber. Let's go back into the game. Okay, so here we are in our beautiful snowy world, and I'm going to answer the 3 questions. So, with our amber here, how are we going to get it? Now this is a really obvious question, because just like in real life, I want to make it so it's an ore that you can mine. Now, number 2 is how rare is it going to be? I think that this mod is going to be severely based around this, so I don't want it to be too common. I think I'm going to copy the exact same spawn rate as diamonds. So it's going to be quite rare, but actually quite frequent. And I'm going to give it Fortune 2. So if you have a Fortune 3 pickaxe, it's going to be really easy to get these. And finally, what am I going to use this for? Now, I immediately have an idea in my head that I'm going to have a DNA extractor, which is you're going to put this into some form of GUI, and you're going to get DNA in return. And then we'll talk about DNA later. So there's the 3 main questions done. I'm happy with it. So let's get straight into number 1, which is making the amber ore. I'm back in the pixel art software, and right here I have the base vanilla iron ore texture. So I really want to copy this in every single colour just here. I want to change to the sort of colour that we have for amber, so that it's going to look like amber ore. So it's the same colours, sort of use the same shading used here as well. And I'll come back when I have the progress. Alright, so with a bit of head scratching later, I have the amber ore texture already right here, and I even went ahead and made the deep slate amber ore texture as well. So I used both of the iron and the diamond texture, and I just replaced all of the colours with the amber colours here. And I did the same with the deep slate and the regular stone. So let's add this to our code here, and hopefully it'll work. And about 10 odd minutes later, we are here. We've got our block packages here, and we've got our block models as well. Everything should be running quite well, so let's run the client and see if they're in Minecraft. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been a busy bee. In fact, I've got both the deep slate and the regular amber. Just here, as you can see, they're both looking very nice. But I've set up my inventory, so I've got just a wooden pickaxe, a diamond pickaxe, a Fortune 3 pickaxe, and a Silk Touch pickaxe. So if we quickly change our game mode to survival, there we go. We can see that if we mine these with a wooden pickaxe, nothing actually happens. For instance, it's going to take a long time. I won't bore you. Actually, I'll speed this up and you'll see that nothing drops. And I would do it to the regular amber ore, but can't be bothered. So now if you mine these with a diamond tool, this should work. That, my friends, does not work. Back to the drawing board we go. Alright, not long after. Didn't take that long to find out what the problem was. Let's have a look now. Diamond pickaxe should mine both of them, just like so. That's very good, and we both get the amber ore. So now, let's try Silk Touch. Yep, there we go. You get the ore for both, perfect. And let's try Fortune 3. Again, this could give us 3, this could give us 1. In this case, we got 5 from 2 there. Just 1 will give us just 1. Then we got 4 that time. And from regular, we get 1 from there, and we get 3 from there. So that is perfect. The loot tables for them all work, but as I said, I've been a busy bee. So if I give myself a creative mode once again, and we teleport to, let's just say 1,000, 100, 1,000, we're somewhere very strange. If we go to actually spectator mode, we can go down into a cave, maybe give ourselves some night vision first. Give dev night vision. That is not what I wanted to do. Night vision. We can look around, and we should actually see our ore spawning naturally in caves. Let's have a look. There's some gold. Oh, there he is. There he is. Some amber ore. Deep slate version is right there. And we have some more over here, just at the same level as diamonds. We've got redstone over there. Got actually some more here, and night vision running out. Yep, it's pretty common. I wouldn't say it's too common, but I think it's a bit more, I made it so it's just a little bit more common than diamonds. In fact, as you can see here, it looks a lot more common than diamonds. But as I say, this mod is going to be based severely around it. So let's go back to 0, 0. Back to our beautiful snowy area. That is our amber and amber ore blocks done perfectly. So if we have a look in our Paleontology Beyond creative mode tab, we can see we have amber, amber ore, and deep slate amber ore. Perfect. I've got tooltips on right now, so you can see the tooltips. If I turn them off real quick, yep, it just has the normal tags. I'm going to turn it back on. So yeah, that's perfect. So here's a question for you. Now this is for you personally. When you think of dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, other than amber, what comes to your mind? Now, this is actually in Minecraft already, but it's not very good. It is the fossils. Even though the fossils in Minecraft are just bone blocks and special patterns, I think we add the fossil ore and fossils themselves. So I'll show you my brain work when we get into the pixel art software. And as if by magic, here we are. I think this fossil ore should be sort of a circular shape, a bit like this. Again, this is just a rough shape, and I want it to sort of have maybe a T-Rex skull inside. That's probably gonna. That's mainly what you think of with Jurassic Park, and then a little skull spinning around like that. So I am gonna cut back when I have the final texture, which is right here. Well, what do we have here? I really like this design. It really looks like just a little skeleton inside of the stone. So I'm going to add this into the game real quick, but before I add it, I want to add it and the ore both together. So I think what I'm going to do is get the regular stone texture, so just 16 by 16. If you want to know where I get my textures from, if I go down to this little file here, this Gradle Net Minecraft Extra, we go to textures, then block, and we can go all the way down to stone. Yep, here he is, stone right here. You can right click, you can copy there, and then you can paste it right here. And so we have this sort of colour here. I think this grey is a bit too dark for the stone. I want to maybe make it white. Bones are quite white, so what we can do is add maybe a skull up here, maybe a bone, something like that down here, and we can just have a little bit of a play about here, just adding whatnot, and I'll cut back when it's done. Well, would you look at that? That is the fossil ore done. I've added a bit of corrosion to the bones, a bit of texture and detailing, just so it looks a little bit more realistic, and I have the fossil itself done here. So let's add this to Minecraft, and I'll see you in the actual game. And as if by magic, we're back into Minecraft. We have our fossil ore and our fossil here. I've named it the preserved fossil, just for a change. So now if we place down this fossil ore, it's looking absolutely beautiful with its texture. Let's go to our wall here with pickaxes, and let's set our game mode to survival. What we can do is we can mine with the wooden pickaxe, of course, nothing happens. Mine with the iron pickaxe, it works perfectly, we get our preserved fossil there. Then we can use our silk touch, just like so. It drops perfectly as we would like. We can place these all back down, and we can now mine it with fortune. You can see we got 1 there, 3 there, lost count, but fortune definitely works. So now we need to test if it actually spawns in real life. So let's go to game mode spectator. Let's teleport back to our 1100, 1000. Alright, so here we are. I made the spawning a little bit like iron, so it's quite frequent, and as you can actually see, we have got it here. I made it in quite big veins as well, since we'll be needing quite a lot of this in the mod. That's what I'm thinking about. Here we go. It's pretty much dotted about everywhere. It's absolutely fine. We won't need a deep slate version because I made sure it's just above deep slate and all the way up. As you can see, it's up there, it's down there, but none of it is below deep slate. So here we are back at our home. We have 2 brand new items and 3 brand new blocks. It's absolutely amazing to think of the power you hold with Forge modding. It's amazing you can add whatever you want, and I will be releasing this soon, so make sure to subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2 will be coming out. I've got tons of ideas for this mod, so make sure to subscribe and stay around. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you later.